Custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system.
This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing.
Lawson sends it out to left center field. This ball is hit pretty well. It's traveling, and it's going to get out of here.
Swinging a fly ball, right field. Guess what? It is a grand salami.
And that is launched. And it's gone past the video board.
It's time for On Deck.
The Gators have their biggest inning in over a decade.
So here comes the payoff pitch from Barberi. And did he go? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 16 for the Gators. And Florida does, in fact, get the shutout.
On Deck is shining because of our title sponsor, International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of Florida Gators baseball.
Jocelyn Erickson, welcome to the 200 Club.
And brought to you in part by Titan MRI and Imaging, Meldon Law, Silverback Concrete, Campus USA Credit Union, B&D Electric, Quality Plumbing, Atlantic Roofing, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Holiday Inn University Center, International Gold and Watch Exchange, Miapa Latin Cafe, Ruse Ogra State Farm, and by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
Alongside Jeff Cardozo, here's Steve Russell.
0-2 again. Swung line drive down the left field line. This ball's trouble. It's up against the wall. Extra base hit for Lawson. 2-run double for him, and the Gators add to the lead. Stretch and pitch. Swing ground ball right side. That's through for a hit. 1 run in. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off. A 2-run single by Surowick. He continues to hit the ball well today. He's 3 for 3, and the Gators get 2 more.
2-2 pitch is a chopper right back to the mound. Then it's going to be off of the pitcher's glove, and Jones going to be safe. An infield single is going to give him a 5-hit day. 4 singles and a homer for the 1-1 pitch, and it's chopped over towards the first base bag. It's going to be fair. Stripling has it. He'll toss it over to Reitner, and the Gators have come in and beaten the Georgia Bulldogs 2 out of 3 times to claim another series. Florida has now won 9 of the last 12 series against the Georgia Bulldogs. They were in first place through the first 4 weeks at 10-2, but the Gators give them 2 losses here at Foley Field. Big series wick for Kevin O'Sullivan and the squad.
Indeed, big wins for Gator baseball against Georgia. Welcome to the On Deck Show alongside my partner, Jeff Cardozo. I'm Steve Russell. We broadcast live from the International Diamond Center studios. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. We'll talk about all things Gator baseball, softball, SEC, some Major League Baseball, too. Our phone and text line questions brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging. 3 locations to serve you better and to scan you better as well. Facebook Live questions brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Our YouTube questions, which our producer Charlie will get to us, brought to you by Silverback Concrete. You stand on it, we stand by it. Jeff, good weekend in Athens for a lot of reasons. They're in first place. They're a good baseball team, but Florida took it to them, and anytime you win a series on the road, it's a good thing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's crazy to think that they've now gone into Arkansas and Georgia and won 5 of 6. And you hope now they can take care of business at home because they've done the hard part, going on the road and doing that. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that, hey, we probably should have looked at Florida a little bit differently. I mean, D1 still with their rankings at like 20. And I'm just starting to look through the poll because it came out this morning. And you got Kansas ahead of them. You got Arkansas ahead of them. It's like, what are you doing? So I still don't like the polls. I don't like how it's all about. And, Auburn's 13th, and we'll see what happens this weekend. And yet they have more losses than Florida does. I think that's the hard part for me is, but then Baseball America's got the Gators at 7. So they understand that, hey, they're actually a really good team. They're actually looking at the metrics and the numbers and understanding that Florida's got more quad 1 wins than anybody else in the country. They've only lost 1 ranked game the entire year, and that was to Georgia this weekend. So, yeah, I think Florida's in a good spot, and certainly to do that in a very hostile environment. Now, Steve, I think the most impressive thing was the ability in that ballpark, because we saw the Gators hit homers, is Georgia didn't hit any.
None.
And this was a team coming in with 98 homers, like more than half of what the Gators had. And they did a really good job of pitching to them. Georgia couldn't get anything going offensively, and I think you got to give a lot of credit for what they were able to do and go and make that happen.
Yeah, we mentioned this in the broadcast with the numbers, Jeff. Taking nothing away from Georgia. They're a good team, okay? But they made a lot of hay against bad teams. Mm-hmm. Let's face it. Their non-conference schedule wasn't very good, and they were hitting in the 260s in SEC games. So a big difference between what you're doing against, East Tennessee State and what you're doing against Florida. So big wins for Florida. Okay, if you want to call us and talk to us about the game, MLB, softball, whatever, 392-8255. You can also email srussell@wruf.com, and we will take care of that. All right, let's start with our team of the week, Jeff, brought to you by B&D Electric. Your home's electrical system's always game day ready, from repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting. They deliver every time. Don't foul out. Schedule today at bdelectric.com. Team of the week.
Well, I'm not even going to go in college because the Rays just swept the Yankees, and I think you got to give it to them for that. Gosh, it's fun to watch because there's been a lot of criticism this week as the Rays get back home, and a lot of people making fun of the Trop and people then having to defend the Trop that actually go to the games. But they've had 6 straight games now with more than 20,000 people show up. So they're now tied for first place with the Yankees and Baltimore winning the 3 in a row, and Yankees have now lost 5 in a row after getting off to an 8-2 start. So yeah, give credit to the Rays for doing that. Anytime you sweep, the evil empire is a really good thing. Again, with a lot less talent.
I don't know, because we've been doing games for so long, but minds think alike. My team was the A's, because they swept the Mets.
Yeah.
And the A's are worse than the Rays.
Sure.
And yet the A's did that. It just goes to show you with all that money. Now, it's 15 games into the year. I get that. But for the A's to sweep the Mets, and the last game was a 1-0 game. It's tough being a Mets fan. Coach of the Week brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, putting some star power to work in your financial life for 90 years. Campus USA Credit Union.
Well, Coach of the Week, I would probably give it to the guy that's at Kansas. I just talked about Kansas a little bit, but remember, we gave it to the UCF coach last week, but now Kansas just swept UCF, and they were 12th in the country. So, this is a random program, although Ryan Chase, who's the first baseman for Johnny Wiggs out at Santa Fe, he's actually going to Kansas next year. So I think they're trying to invest money into their program. They gave him a decent NIL package to go out there, and he was recruited by several other teams. So you don't think of Kansas as this just big baseball powerhouse, and I still don't think they're better than Florida and shouldn't be ranked higher than Florida, but you got to give them credit. I mean, it's miserably cold there for a really long time, and the last couple of years that program has really had a resurrection, and they've got a guy in there now that knows what he's doing. He brings a different kind of energy and excitement, and they're winning a lot of baseball games.
I don't know that would qualify as Coach of the Week because it's a good baseball team, but Georgia Tech just swept FSU. And Georgia Tech, I don't know, because they're not in the SEC, they're good every year, and give them a lot of credit. And I don't know, Jeff, do you think FSU's been exposed a little bit now?
Yeah, and they don't have Miles Bailey either, so you
Correct.
Don't have your best player. I still don't know how good you can be. And, Georgia Tech really struggled on the mound. That was their weak point, and Florida State still couldn't hit them either. So I don't want to then say, well, Florida, that's why Florida is able to sweep Florida State because they're not very good. I still think that they're a decent program, but I only think that there's a couple of guys in that lineup that can actually hit, and one of them's now gone for the rest of the year. I think they can pitch really well. I think their Friday and Saturday guys are really good, so that should keep them in some games. But I think maybe similar to Florida, sometimes you just don't know when the offense is going to show up and how much you're going to actually get out of that.
We're going to talk about that because we discussed this on the air about some decisions that Kevin O'Sullivan may have to make here with the lineup as injured players return. We'll talk about that when we get back. The On Deck Show continues on WRUF.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through
I'm Karen Friend. Gator
WRUF.
softball continued their 5-game win streak over this weekend and swept the Gamecocks. The Gators moved up to number 4 in this week's rankings. Florida looks to continue their streak on Wednesday at home against FGCU. Tune in for live coverage on WRUF at 5:40 p.m. Speaking of wins, Gators baseball returns to the top 20 after defeating the Bulldogs over the weekend on the road. In other Gator sports, Gator fans got a first look at the football team under head coach Sean Summerall. Summerall spoke after the game on the team's performance.
I think we got a lot better this spring. We have a long way to go, but pleased with the work we got today. And great turnout, grateful for our fans, and awesome energy in the stadium.
The Gators are now preparing for summer and fall camp as they gear up for their season opener against Florida Atlantic in the Swamp.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
On Deck continues right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond. You can get the best diamonds at the best prices for quality, selection, and value. International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Welcome back to the On Deck Show. Steve and Jeff with you here. We want to hear from you. Talk some baseball, softball, Major League Baseball, whatever it is that you want to talk about. Gator baseball, we will do it. We'll preview Florida, Auburn as well. And by the way, I think both softball and baseball playing Auburn this week. Let's do our relief pitcher of the week, brought to you by Castaway Hot Sauce. Hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar. Built by Gators for Gators. Castaway Hot Sauce is available at select public supermarkets.
Pretty easy one for me. It's Ernesto Lugo Canchola, for finally not giving up a run. He had gone 6 straight outings where he had given up a run. He started the year his first 11 outings, he had only given up 1 run the entire time, and then SEC play rolls around and obviously started to struggle a little bit. He had given up 5 2-run home runs, and it didn't look good. And then you brought him in a really big spot yesterday. It was second and third, nobody out, and he goes punch out, pop out. And those 2 runs didn't score, and it kept it an 8-run game at the time. And all of a sudden, think if it's a 3-run homer, it's a 5-run game, and you're there. And you still had at that point for like 12 more outs to get. So there was still a lot of game left. So I think him shutting down everything right there in that moment, and then finding that breaking ball and striking out Phelps, which is always a good thing because that cocky dude rubs me the wrong way for sure. But yeah, Gators need him. I mean, he is their lefty out of the bullpen, and he will have to continue to come in big spots and get guys out, and maybe that was the start of getting some confidence for him.
We're on the same wavelength. I said McNeely because he kind of came in and, settled things down as well. You look at – I don't want to delve into this a little bit now, Jeff, while we have time, because it's going to be dangerous if Florida's starters – ever pitch to their, each one of them to their capability. Wow. We saw 2 gems, and then Sandefur came off the great outing, just didn't have it. I mean, that happens to big leaguers, right? But what's going to happen now when it comes to the lineup? We talked about it on air a couple of days because Florida's going to get some guys back. Lawson, do you put him at short? What do you do with Myers? Do you move him to third? I guess those are good dilemmas to have.
Yeah, I think it may have to be week to week, and you may have to figure it out this week, and depending on what type of team it is. Like, I think you could get away with playing Surwick at third against a team like Georgia because they're not playing the small ball. They're not bunting. They're not making you move or do all these types of things. And I think there's still a couple opponents like that. But if Surwick's the third baseman when Florida's playing Kentucky, they're just going to attack him all day long. And I don't think that you can do that. You have to then put Myers at third to kind of counter that or do different things. So now the question is, okay, well, Stripling was at first. He's a better bat, but then we saw just the inability at times to play first base. We saw it early in the year, and then he tries to go after a ball that he had no business of doing, and then there's a base hit because of it. And he doesn't get back to the bag in time. So I still think that there's things that he's trying to work through. I think when it's all said and done, to me, the best would be to have Myers at short, put Lawson at first, but then you still have Surwick at third. But then you say, okay, well, let's put Lawson then at short, Myers at third, and then Surwick at first. Then you're giving up a little bit in the shortstop spot, but you're better defensively at third. So I think that's what inevitably will be what happens. It's just a rotation of Myers, Lawson, and Surwick, just kind of what time it does it. And then you on occasion will see Stripling come in there and play maybe against a tough right-handed hitter or something.
Okay. Let us do our top 4 teams brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coca-Cola with 0 sugar, 0 calories.
Yeah, to me the top 3 are really easy, and none of them are SEC teams, which is kind of crazy to think about. But Texas, they went 1-2 this past week, so they didn't look all that great. But it's UCLA. They're 7 games away from breaking the all-time consecutive wins. They haven't lost since February.
It's crazy.
It's stupid. Now they don't play anybody, right, and they still have got to take on a good Oregon team in a little bit. But yeah, they're 33-2 and just destroying every. And they next 7 games are all at home for them too to be able to try to break that record, which is. I think that'll help. Georgia Tech, for what they did, I'm still not convinced about their pitching staff, but they really hit it well against Florida State, and obviously when you sweep the Noles, that's pretty good. So really rough week for Florida State. And the thing I still don't get, I guess we can polls piss me off, and it's just there's no reason for the stupidity of what you now put. So Florida State's 24-11. They just got swept. They had an 0-4 week. So the Gators have less losses, way better RPI, way better strength of schedule, swept them.
Head-to-head, yeah.
And Florida State's 8, and Florida's 20.
But in one poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one that everybody – and the one that Florida actually uses is the D1 poll. So when you look at the rankings, like it'll say Florida ranked 20th on the game notes. Like it won't say 7th like Baseball America has them. Yeah. So I would assume that Kevin O'Sullivan gets a little frustrated at that as well. And I think that's kind of why I didn't necessarily bait him into saying that at the end of the game on Sunday, but I wanted to get his feel, and he made a point to say, hey, listen, yeah, we've got a really good RPI. We've got a really good strength of schedule. These are the wins that we have. Like, we probably should be higher than we are, because I think the committee will still do the right thing and look at that RPI when it comes to hosting. But, you know, you've never seen in a poll before where someone's ranked like 20th or 24th and all of a sudden, you know, they're hosting.
Right.
So I think that needs to get better. And, you know, obviously if Florida keeps playing well, it will.
We want to tell you about Sensei Asian Bistro, now open in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. Gainesville, this is not a drill. The premier date night spot has arrived, and we welcome them. Sensei Asian Bistro. We'll take a break, come back. Let's hear from you. We're here. We're going to talk softball a little bit, some MLB. We want to hear from you as we continue with the On Deck Show on WRUF.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Looking for a roof you can
is
trust to weather any storm?
WRUF.
Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's first pitch time, Alachua County. The field is set, the crowd is buzzing, and baseball season is in full swing. From clutch hits and game-saving catches, baseball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season, on and off the field.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When the late great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Hey, Gator baseball fans, here's a win you can taste. When the Florida Gators take home a victory at Condren Family Ballpark, you win too at Miapa Latin Cafe. The day after every home win, swing by and score a free Cuban coffee, hot or iced, your choice. Just bring your game ticket to any Miapa location and claim your reward within 24 hours of the win. It's that simple. Gators win, you win. Only at Miapa Latin Cafe, serving Gator fans for over 20 years. Play ball!
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
In the heart of Gator Country, some things are built to last. Traditions, family, and real wood furniture. At Would You Furniture, we believe furniture should be more than something you replace every few years. It should be something you pass down, built to last generations. Choose beautifully finished pieces or ready-to-finish furniture you can make your own. Would You Furniture. Real wood, real quality, right here in our community. Come visit our new showroom on Main Street, just north of our previous location, or online at wouldyougainesville.com.
On Deck continues, right here on WRUF.
Fans International Diamond Center carries an exceptional assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, luxury watches, and fine jewelry. Locations across Florida, right here in Celebration Point, the heart of Gator Nation.
Welcome back to the On Deck Show. We want to hear from you, whether it be college baseball, softball, Major League Baseball. Call us up, 392-8255. You can also email at srussell@wruf.com, and I'm going to check that now. Here we go. Jim says, first off, compliments on your Monday attire. Well, every once in a while.
You had a hot date earlier or
You got to
something?
wear clothes you bought, right? I thought the umpire behind the plate Friday and yesterday was one of the most consistent umpires I've seen this year. Even though his low breaking ball strikes might have been questionable, he called them the same way for both sides. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't really have an issue with any of the umpires all weekend. I thought they all did a pretty good job. Now, our angle is a little different than what we get at home. I think we have a better view at home. We're more to the left of home plate, kind of almost looking down the first baseline. So it's a little strange trying to see some of those pitches on the outer part of the plate, and we didn't have a monitor either to be able to see anything on the the screen. But yeah, I thought more often than not they were good, and the ones that were called outside, they were actually outside. So yeah, they were good.
Let's get some emails here. Actually, some texts. JB feels like all the polls are a bunch of nonsense. Are there any I should pay attention to? If so, why? Seems like throwing a dart in the dark.
I wouldn't pay attention to any of them, to be honest. I think, to me, look at the RPI. That's the best way to do it. You can just go to the NCAA website and pull up RPI for college baseball, and that gives you, I think, at least a pretty good understanding of where teams are. It'll have their records against the better teams and the worst teams and the quads and all that stuff, kind of like you do for basketball. Now, polls are there to have people like us yell and scream about them and complain. But I think they're certainly worth complaining. Which again, if I wasn't involved with Florida and been a part of this team for forever, I would still have an issue with where they are, understanding that, hey, these are the credentials of what Florida has. Like, here it is. So Florida right now, 27-10, 9-6 in the league, of course, 4 in RPI, 2 in strength of schedule. They've got a nation-high 11 quad 1 wins against high top 25 teams, and I just don't see how that puts you 20th in a poll.
Yeah.
So just have some common sense when it comes to this stuff.
And understanding that polls are arbitrary, but I'm with you there, because if you're going to vote in a poll or rank something, what you just described are things you have to look at.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it.
That's what you should be looking at.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's get to Dr. Gill here. Gill, hello.
Hi, I'm glad you guys are talking about a sore point for me, because I've been following online the D1 baseball people, and Kendall Rogers, who's the owner of that, he actually kind of gets back to you every once in a while too, which is kind of nice. But I made a sarcastic comment to him about, after he had lauded the performance of the Gators over the weekend, I said, well, hopefully with 3 wins over your top 10 teams all on the road this week, maybe we can, kind of crack in there at number 25 this week, But whatever you do, don't drop FSU more than 1 or 2, even though they went 0-4. And then his comment back to me was, I think I may just drop them for that comment. So he's kind of realizes that everybody around the country sees how ridiculous their rankings are compared to the others, but they still insist on using them on SEC and ESPN telecasts, which is amazing to me.
Well, I think
Because
part
they
of
make
that,
no sense at all.
though, Gil, Kyle Peterson actually owned the website, and obviously ESPN, and that's what, and I believe that he is now backed out of the ownership of it, but obviously Kendall's still there, and Aaron Fitt, and some of these writers that are the most trusted, so to speak, in all of college baseball are the ones doing it, and now you've got somebody else kind of overseeing it. It is weird, but that's why I think everybody switched to that being the kind of the dominant poll, because of the relationship with that, ESPN, and everything else.
Well, the only thing I have against it is there's a public perception, because people will say, like, how come Florida's not ranked, man? They're having a tough season.
Sure.
And I'm saying, you call it a tough season when you have the number 4 RPI right now with the number 2 strength of schedule. And were it not for a rain out yesterday, they'd be at least tied for third in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, you take a look. There's 3 polls that are out right now. There's also going to be the baseball writers, and I think the coaches comes out later. The other 2 polls have Florida at 7 and 11. Baseball America, which has been around for decades, and the Perfect Game, which basically all they do is scouting and baseball. So, you could take that part of it and say, like, let's throw the rogue judge out, like at a gymnastics meet, and just take the scores that actually are meaningful. But in what world can you actually lose 6 straight home games in the SEC and get swept on 2 consecutive weekends and still be ahead of Florida and have 11 teams that Florida has more wins than ahead of them in the poll? So they lose credibility. But the good news for Gator fans, and everybody that I know who's not as big of a fan as I am, I tell them, if you go back, and Steve, you have a bunch of students there, great sports broadcasting students that want to have a little project. Go back about 5 years in college baseball and get the end of the regular season RPIs for college baseball. You'll find that there isn't a single situation where one of the national seeds has an RPI lower than about 12, and you'll probably find maybe 1 or 2 teams that host that are under top 20. It almost is a complete RPI list when they come out. And right now, Florida has a chance to be a national seed. Not just a host, but a national seed at where they are. I would bank on that. Of course, there's a long way to go.
All right.
But
got to wrap it up,
yeah,
Gil.
but Dave Neal saying yesterday that Georgia was a lock for a national seed with an RPI right now at 20 is way, way off. So just hang in there. There's a lot of baseball to play, but the polls are just for fun.
Yep, right there with you, Gil.
All right,
Good
man.
stuff.
Appreciate you, Gil. Thank you. All right, another text here. Carl, do we witness good enough pitching from our Gators in Athens to belong in Omaha?
Yeah, I would have said before Athens that's good enough pitching to belong in Omaha. And right now, if Jackson Barberi was a part of this team, he might have swept Georgia. And that's the guy you would have brought in on the Saturday game. Saturday when they had to bring in Cooper Walls, in a 1-1 game. So you bring in Barberi there, and he's probably doing great, and they're probably still playing because the Aoki was really good on the other side. So I think it's a really good pitching staff, and we went the entirety of the year until these last 2 weeks with nobody going more than 6 innings as a starter. And now you've had 2 straight weekends where you've had 2 of the 3 go 7 innings. Aiden King's obviously done it twice, and Peterson just did it. That was the longest outing of his career. Yeah. First time he's ever even got 6 1/3. So you got to give credit to Liam for bouncing back like that. And then Sandifer, of course, did it against Ole Miss with 7 scoreless.
All right. George says, Jeff, I swear I saw somebody that looks like you on TV at the Braves-Cubs game. Was that you?
It wasn't the Cubs. It was Cleveland.
Yeah.
But, I was there. I don't know if I would have been on TV. We did have nice seats, though. Darren O'Day hooked it up. We were sitting right by the end of the Cleveland dugout. And it sucked because, and I said this story on the air, but Parker Messick, who was a Florida State Seminole, he is the guy that pitched against the Gators in 2020 in the midweek game on that Tuesday. And that was the last game at McKeithen Stadium. Of course, the Gators lost that day, finished 16-1. Season's canceled after that. And then Parker Messick pitched against the Braves, and they got shut out for the first time all year. Parker Messick's been really good. He threw 6 shutout against the Dodgers earlier this year, too. His earned run average was like Steve's in high school. It's like a .43 or something.
Yeah.
He's tearing it up.
Yeah, I can at least count that high. Let's do our Player of the Week, brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. If you're looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center.
Yeah, if we're sitting here talking about pitching and how good the Gators have been, give credit to the ace for UCLA. Logan Redeman is his name. He struck out 18 batters this weekend in 8 1/3 innings. And that is, it tied the single game record backed by a guy in 2000, Rob Henkel, who was actually pretty good. I mean, this is a guy sits 98, 99 in the first couple of innings, so he's going to be a high pick someday. And, I mean, to strike out 18 guys in 8 innings, pretty darn good.
It's just a shame you can't see them more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd love to see them, you know, with my eyeballs, as opposed to, I mean, look, their numbers are great and all that, but just, you know, I'm sure they'll be on, but you don't see them as much because, you know, the SEC is always on, et cetera. Let's do our softball review, brought to you by International Gold and Diamond Exchange. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or repair luxury timepieces, the process begins with an honest evaluation and clear offer. International Gold and Diamond Luxury is done easy. Larry said his coach of the week would be Tim Walton. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and they continue to do their thing and give a lot of credit. For those that didn't see it, Keegan Rothrock had a no-hitter over the weekend. It's actually her first one ever in SEC play. It's her 3rd overall. The other 2 she had, of course, non-conference opponents. So I think to do that, and South Carolina's not one of the better teams in the league, but, I mean, you still got to go do it. You still got to handle business, and they went up there and just absolutely destroyed the Cox all weekend long.
40 wins now for softball. And, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're a coach that's been around for a long time, it's almost just a fan expects you to go out there, roll out 40 wins. There's a lot of work with that. Each team is different. Each group is different. You know, the talent's a little bit different, but he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, and it's all going to depend on whether Ava Brown can come back and contribute a little bit more, because Rothrock is, I mean, she's going to wear down, and I don't think she's going to be able to throw every single postseason inning, and you got to get some help from somewhere else. But, I mean, to have that offense with Cahalan and Erickson and Shoemaker, it's pretty darn special, and they just keep rolling through everybody.
All right, let's get Dustin. I went to watch Wyatt play. Friday hit his first homer. I guess he injured his quad rounding the bases. Hope he's okay. I think it's improved his batting average. He's struggling.
Yeah.
He said Kaggs is hitting about 230 as well.
Yeah, Kaggs got off to a really good start,
Yeah.
and then he has dropped over the last week and a half or so. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to take those guys some time to adjust and figure it out. I think Wyatt's got a chance to be really, really good, and you know, I think Kaggs just needs to get comfortable as they try to change some of the things that he's done and been successful with his whole life. So I think it's just getting to a point like we saw with Rory McIlroy. I mean, it took him 17 years to win the dang Masters, and then he does it in back-to-back years, but it took him time to get comfortable and feel it and understand it. I mean, it can't take you 17 years in the big leagues, or you're not going to be playing, but I mean, it can at least take you a year or two, and I think for both of those guys, they're still really, really young with a lot of talent.
Let's get some text here real quick. Andrew, for you, Jeff, when you start saying brown-eyed handsome man, what makes you say it? It's funny and I love it.
A while back, and it's just from hearing, you know, being around ballparks your whole life, and you hear Fogarty in center field saying round and third and heading for home. He's a brown-eyed handsome man. So just kind of clicked one day, and that's why I say it.
Okay. Jill, softball's all gas, no brakes right now. Love it, Jill. With Rock settling in, everything's so consistent, what % chance would you put UF at Macon, Oklahoma City?
I mean, it's hard to put a percentage on it. You just got to get lucky and hot at the right time. But I mean, 90%, like they're easily good enough to make Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
they just have to be able to get a right matchup and obviously perform when it's all said and done.
You just stole my thunder. Yeah. It's about the matchup, right? You get to a super, right? And normally that team is pretty good too.
Sure.
who does it on that day. What is there a break here, a fluke play there? But look, his track record getting to Oklahoma City, Joe, speaks for itself. We'll get a break. We'll come back. Much more to come on the On Deck Show as you listen to us here on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Evan Marrero. Gators baseball is no longer unranked, jumping to number 20 in the D1 baseball rankings. Florida won the series over the Georgia Bulldogs. The Gators have risen to nation best 10-1 on the season against ranked opponents. Florida football had its orange and blue spring game Saturday. 47,000 fans were in attendance to watch a quarterback battle between Tramell Jones Jr. and Aaron Philo. Philo threw for 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in the game. Offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner said Philo has a short-term memory.
One thing about him is he'll shrug them off, I can assure you. And look, every quarterback, I tell him, hey, you're going to throw picks, but we're going to keep throwing it. But he came back and made some elite throws, which is what he always does. So I was impressed with the way he handled that.
Florida softball went 3-0 this weekend against South Carolina. The Gators will host FGCU on Wednesday.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Some patchy fog will be possible overnight, otherwise we have no weather worries except for the ongoing drought.
Lows tonight will fall into the upper 50s. Tomorrow highs will make it into the upper 80s again. They expect afternoon highs to reach the low 90s starting on Wednesday, with mid-90s around by the start of the weekend. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck.
On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo continues right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Hello, Black Betty, as we tell you how great International Diamond Center is, the only official jeweler of the Gators. Shop exclusive, officially licensed Gator jewelry, from rings and bracelets to watches and Hall of Fame pieces, even featuring Jenny's Gems. Head coach Jenny Rowland. Visit International Diamond Center in Celebration Point or check them out online to show your Gator pride in style.
All right, let's get through these here. We got our seventh inning stretch, courtesy of Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to sponsor Gator Athletics at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, you get a free cup of coffee, Cuban coffee, from any Miapa location. Just show your ticket, Miapa Latin Cafe. Game of the week, Jeff, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Quality Plumbers, Gainesville's trusted for over 30 years. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all.
I'm anxious as they come to it this week to see, one, how Georgia can do, and two, how Arkansas can do. And they play each other because Arkansas was dead to rights, and then they go and get a sweep. Obviously, Georgia loses 2 out of 3 to the Gators, and now Georgia has to go to Arkansas. Has Arkansas figured it out, and they'll keep rolling, and Georgia's now going to slip up, or does Georgia put it on them there in Fayetteville like obviously the Gators were able to do? So to me, that's the most intriguing one this weekend because it's two teams now in different directions.
Do you get the sense this year more than the last few others, just this roller coaster that, you kind of knew, Arkansas was good. You kind of knew Tennessee was good. But now it's just up and down. It's just week to week, right? I mean, Texas didn't play well, and everybody's going to have a bad week. But I think the league now, although there's some teams at the bottom like South Carolina and Missouri, there's that whole bunch in the middle.
I mean, you've got 8 teams within 3 games of each other now. So, I think everybody's beating up on everybody else, and I think that's also partly why you see when it comes to the polls that some of the SEC teams aren't ranked as high anymore, even though they're probably better teams than some of these other conferences. But the other conferences, like North Carolina's playing crap, and Georgia's playing Florida. It's things like that where when it's all said and done, you wait until a regional or a super regional to see who really rules the roost. But I'm still convinced, because after watching it for 5 weeks, that even some of the bad teams, still pretty darn good baseball teams in the SEC.
Now we got to run through these. Best and worst of the week brought to you by Ruzoger State Farm Insurance. State Farm agent Ruzoger, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for the service you deserve at the price you want. Best and worst of the week.
Yeah, to me, the best was actually Hayden Yost, which is really cool, and that's saying something.
Stole mine.
Well, it's because, Jones has 5 hits, which is a career high. Serwick 5 ribbies, career high. But for that to happen to Hayden Yost on the field, that 2 years ago is where he tore his ACL and had to miss the rest of the year, and it was grass at the time, and we could have a whole another 30-minute show on how stupid it is to have turf in the South, but that's what Georgia has now, so we could crush them all day long. But he crushed 2 homers in the same day. He'd never done that before, and he only had 4 homers in almost 200 at-bats last year, so now all of a sudden he's got 3 this week alone, and he could have really just been upset that he wasn't playing and doing all these things. So for him to come out like that and, gets the opportunity and they sit down Kendall, that was pretty cool.
That was why. Because a guy who played so much last year, hasn't played a lot this year, could be pouting, but he seized his chance. Good to see that. Next game preview brought to you by Atlantic Roofing. Personal and commercial roofing expects quality, durability, excellence, and integrity. With over 50 years of experience, Atlantic Roofing brings the trusted expertise to your project. Let's do the week, Jeff. Bethune-Cookman, who beat LSU, is here tomorrow, and then Auburn comes to town.
Yeah, and listen, you just got to take care of business. Obviously, Florida lost to Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago at home because they had a brain fart for 1 inning, and you just can't let that happen. Anybody that pitches is going to have to perform well against a team that is going to want to come in here and smoke you. So I think just from a mindset, they're going to have to be ready. And then Auburn's a team record-wise, it's pretty identical to Florida, pretty similar to the same home record. Auburn's 3-4 though on the road, so they haven't done the best away from the Plains there, but they can pitch, and I think that's what Florida's going to have to deal with again. Can they have nice quality at bats like they did on Sunday, or are they going to swing for the fences and hit ground balls into the other dugout because they're not having the right approach like they did on Saturday? So that's what it comes down to.
We got 5 minutes to run through these. Mike, tell us what you guys know about Cameron Young's MLB logo on the shirt. He's sponsored by MLB.
Yeah.
I know that. And there was something, Jeff, where Rob Manfred was a member of the club. His father was that, I think?
Correct.
Right?
So, yeah, it's exactly what it is. His dad was a golf pro, and obviously he was there too. So they were a part of the same golf community. So it's like if you're a member at Hale Plantation or Hawkstone, something like that, where you're playing in the same place, and his dad and Rob Manfred are really, really good friends. So he's there's actually 4 or 5 guys that have the MLB logo on it, but he's the best one. So that's the one you see the most.
BB, sounds like with the crazy rankings, we have no reasonable idea what it might take to host a regional or a super. But that being said, what's your best guess on what kind of winning percentage in the remaining games it might take to get a regional and a super? Well, you can get a super. You have to earn that, but it's the regional first.
Yeah, I think, let's see, Florida's at, 9-6? I think if they get to 17 wins in the league over the next 15 games, so that means you're basically winning half your games. The rest of the way in the SEC, they'll easily be a host.
Okay. And then he says, sorry you guys missed the Masters. It was fun to watch.
We didn't miss it.
Yeah, we watched a lot of it, BB. A lot of it. Bus ride home.
Yeah.
All that. Okay, a lot of these, Jeff. Vinny on YouTube. So they're keeping the Trop still up in the air with the funding for the new stadium.
Yeah, it sounds like they want to have the city pay for upgrades to Raymond James and then also to the Yankee spring training complex if they're going to do the Trop as well, because everybody else is moaning and groaning if they're going to put in a bunch of money. So I hope they get it. And it would be nice to have a new stadium. But again, the Trop's really not all that bad. You get to sit in some air conditioning and not get a bunch of skin cancer like I got from being in the sun my whole life.
Chuck on YouTube. Here's what I'm nervous about. The season seems too similar to last year when they peak now, come to a crash landing in May. What's going to be the difference to stop that this year?
Luke Heyman not getting hurt. Kyle Jones not getting hurt. Colby Shelton not getting hurt.
Pitching continues to be good.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. They had so many injuries last year that's what ended up stopping them. And right now, obviously, Barberi being hurt, it's a good time to have that happen because you need him at the end of the year. And then I think everybody else is pretty much healthy at this point. So stay healthy. You'll be okay.
Richie on YouTube, I saw bracketology that Florida not hosting a regional as the number 2 in the 7 seeds region. The rankings of some of these outlets some I work up are abhorrent. Why is there not one universal ranking like football or basketball?
Just the way it's always been. I can't really give that answer. Everybody's got to – but they obviously pick one to use as the main one, and everybody else just has magazines now just like people have their own little websites.
And Vernon's on me. Charlie. Steve keeps calling for rain. Next baseball home series, I'm blaming it on you when I have to wait for the postponement.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it had to rain during the game.
Sure.
It just has to rain, right? Amoeba on Facebook, the swap between Peterson and King played out well, took some pressure off Liam. Not to sound bad, is it really that simple to make a switch to see Peterson we expected because of more being relaxed on Saturday?
No, I don't think it's that simple. I just think it probably ticked him off, and there needed to be something that changed his mindset from being comfortable. And I think now he'll have to show that, hey, if Aiden King goes out there and does that, like before, it was a little more nonchalant because he's the first guy. It didn't really matter what he did, and then King can come behind him and look good. Well, now if King looks really good on Friday night and then Peterson poops the bed on Saturday, it's going to look even worse for him. So I think that now he's got to have that mindset of, gosh, if Aiden did this on Friday, I better go do the same thing or it's not going to look good.
Lastly, Steve, on Facebook, is it safe to say the trust is fully back in the top 2 relievers for Florida? Reitner seemed to have earned it back with that showing in tally. Ernesto was stellar in Athens.
Yeah, Reitner's never lost it. I mean, he's only had 2 bad games the whole year that he's given up runs. And for Ernie, yeah, it's they're going to keep running him out there no matter what. I just think that it's nice to have some confidence on his end where he's able to then say, okay, this is what I can do. And you give him credit. He's worked really, really hard because, I think he's got the right mindset from anybody. Like he wants to win probably more than anybody on that staff, and he has certainly felt bad for kind of disappointing and letting some of the guys down because a couple of those losses are because of him.
They are.
Giving up runs.
But the other thing I try to tell people, big league lefties lose games too.
Sure.
You're not going to be perfect every time you walk out there, but it was good to see him in a leverage situation yesterday.
Yeah.
Pitch well.
No doubt.
All right. That is our On Deck for this week. Do not move the radio dial. Kevin Winter, the Sports Lab gang, are next. Thanks to Charlie for producing. I'll see you tomorrow on Sports Scene. I'm Steve Russell. Enjoy the rest of your day and the sunshine on WRUF. See you tomorrow.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down.
Your home for Gators softball is 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world